Oh, we can raid. Yeah. Okay. Let's go all raid Tandasia. Tandasia. We're just gonna have a bunch of people. Everyone. We're gonna raid, and she's not live yet, but wait like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I don't know. Setting up right now. Good. We're all gonna go there. Uh, anyway, thank you all so much for joining. I'll be back tomorrow. Still figuring out what I'm doing for the rest of this week. Thank you so much for joining. If you'd like to read about how we're trying to kick advertisers out of the captain's chair on YouTube, you don't have to donate. Just go to patreon.com/gamerzach, and at the top of the about page, I've written a paragraph-ish
Hey
about
guys,
it, so
DJMK
you can do
here,
that.
and welcome to
So thank you so much if
another
you go read
live
that. Or you can
stream.
just look up Hank Green's
It's
article. You
been
just search.
such a long time. It's been like a minute and a half, well, infinity and a half, really, when it comes to doing a game stream. So last week, I believe, I did a live stream about the Oscars and the 2020 nominations, which let me get my face over here. Hello. So last week I did a little live stream about the Oscar 2020 nominations, where essentially I talked about the recent um, discussions about the nominees, which I'm going to change the title in a little bit actually. So not very professional, but hey. But hi, Gamer Zach. I did watch your stream a little bit earlier. That was a really fun discussion. So this time, the next game I'm going to be playing is another round of Cinderella Phenomenon. In the last episode, which actually happened on my birthday, believe it or not, we completed Rumple, aka Chevalier's route. So actually turned out I was playing in the wrong order. Karma, in terms of chronological order, was the next one I was supposed to play, not Chevalier. So this time I'm going to be playing Chevalier's route. So that way I'm just back in chronological order. So by this playthrough, we will be back in order. But yeah, hey guys. Hey Astriel, Colonel Falco, Zen. Hey, everybody. It's been really fun to talk with you guys during Zach's streams, so it's really great to be here. So let me just get a few things updated, and we shall get started. So other games I've been thinking of playing, there is one on itch.io called Nusantara, which is an independent visual novel. Daisuke, the creator of Cinderella Phenomenon, is also working on a sequel called Evermore, which they're still in development. And it turns out the reason why they've been slowing down in development is because they're adding animation to it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they delayed their production even further to add voice acting to it. Because believe it or not, the art is actually pretty gorgeous. And also, other things that I am also thinking of trying in the future as well is the. I know I'm a year too late when it comes to the meme, but I'm still going to try it anyway. Is the I Love You, Colonel Sanders game, which is, fun fact, done by a webtoon author, which is really funny. And then Your Dry Delight, which is a visual novel that takes place during the Roaring Twenties. So that's pretty cool. So come on, game. We know. So there we go. All right. All right. Can you guys hear the game? Oh, Light and Darkness. I got a new achievement from Steam for opening the game. Unlock the locked routes. Okay. So basically, you have to play through at least 2 routes personally before the final 3 are unlocked. So, if you want to get an idea of how the intro goes, you can definitely check out the previous videos. But as you can see, I've already won 2 routes, which is Rod, which is the Little Mermaid Curse, and Chevalier. Well, his real name is Chevalier, who is the Rumpelstiltskin Curse. So it looks like it's the correct order from here, but it turns out it's actually supposed to be Rod, then Karma. And Karma, I believe, is the Beauty and the Beast curse, if I remember correctly. And Lusette's Guard is the Red Riding Hood curse. And then, of course, oh man, I forget the last one. He was part of the circus. He's the Peter Pan curse. Though, as we saw in the previous route, he managed to break it on his own somehow. So, there's that. So, let me just reload. So, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Chevalier was the most recent one. I'm going to have to start saving over this stuff eventually. So, we are going to start from the selection screen. Since we now unlocked Fritz and Waltz's routes, that's what it is. So, Fritz and Waltz are the last ones here. Fritz is a royal guard, and Waltz is a circus performer. Fritz is Red Riding Hood, and Waltz is Peter Pan. So now we're going to do Karma's route, which I believe is Beauty and the Beast. So the first two chapters are basically how she got turned to Cinderella, Lucette, and chapter 3 onwards is basically the route you're going for. As I have discovered personally, it turns out even one deviation from said route can result in a bad end. So it's very easy to get bad endings in this game. So what I'm going to do essentially is try to get as close to a good end as possible. And if I fail at it, then I will go through it once again with the second part going through the good ending. Whoop. There we go. So once you get that basic down there, then I will get started. So let's go ahead and start a new route. New year, new route with Karma. I decided to go to search for Karma as soon as I'm done with Mr. Broom. Oh yeah, Mr. Broom, the infamous Mr. Broom. It's a magically enchanted broom that Lusette's witch friend essentially enchanted to make her do work in the cafe. So anyway, or as soon as it is done with me, he should be sitting at a bar or at a table. I find him at the usual table talking to Waltz, who has his hands on a box. Why, if it isn't the princess? Lovely morning, isn't it? It is the same as any other. Nonsense! Every morning brings new opportunities, right, Waltz? And I say this while it is 10 a.m. where I am. Ha ha ha. I guess so. Every day there's another chance for a good deed, princess. And, oh yes, to backtrack a little bit as well. Lucette has to do 3 good deeds, which complete the glass slipper. And if she does 3 good deeds, she would be turned back into a princess, which she usually was. But because she was given the Cinderella curse, that's the title of the game, Cinderella Phenomenon, she's turned to a commoner. And so as a result, her family, except one, Rod, doesn't know what happened to her. No clever comments today, princess? I do so enjoy them. Maybe coming to Karma was a bad idea. I would love to stay and offer advice, but Waltz and I better be off. We do have work to do. You mean that you're going to put me to work? Work? Parfait asked us to bring up some provisions for the tavern. She asked us, but in the end it would be me carrying everything. You'd make a lady carry everything? Karma suddenly stops, then whirls to look at me with wide eyes. Oh! I cannot say that I like the glimmer in his eyes. And also, it's not a misgender. Karma has the Beauty and the Beast curse. So in other words, instead of being turned into a beast, Karma turned into Belle, essentially. So, yeah, we'll find out his backstory later, when it turned out that way. How would you like to help, Princess Lucette? I'm sure this would count as one of your good deeds. I'm pretty sure that's not how this works. Oh, Waltz, you're no fun. Helping Karma carry things does not sound pleasant, but I'll go. Truly. Oh my, Waltz, it seems I will not be requiring your assistance today. Princess, are you sure? Perhaps this might be considered good. Besides, I'll finally get to leave this place for the first time since I've been here. And as we all know from Lucettes... How do I describe this? Less than optimal behavior. It's not counting. Nope. She's sure now, but she isn't. It's not a thing. Okay, take good care of the Princess, Karma. Of course. Why the more flashy personalities are the ones we're getting in the middle, and then the more subtle stuff we're getting at the end? For the rest of the day, Karma takes me to different shops around the town, really reading off a long list and giving me the coins to buy things. I noticed that the townspeople treat me nicely when the two of us are together. I wonder why that could be. I do not understand why everyone likes Miss Karma so much, but maybe it is because they do not really know him. We stop in the middle of the town and sit at a small cafe on the outskirts to take a break. Miss Karma is still the picture of elegance. But I'm not gonna lie, I would cosplay as Karma if I could pull off red hair. Why are you dressed like a woman? Darling, not so loud. Why is this even a secret? It's related to my curse. I mentioned that before, didn't I? What was your curse again? Karma was one of the only people at the tavern who did not share what his curse was. Is knowing my curse even so important? You know what my curse is, so tell me what yours is. You dragged me around town to help carry your things. But, Princess, those weren't even my things. They weren't mine either. Okay, I will tell you. Though it is very sad. I do not think a curse is meant to be a happy thing. I have the beauty's curse. It is what forces people to fall in love with me every time they see my handsome face. Is that really a curse? That doesn't seem awful at all. You'd be surprised, Lucette. Terrible, isn't it? Okay. Character development number 1. This was an easy one. I think she's gonna say it's not that terrible. Because it's Lucette. Come on. I do not think it's that terrible. You can work around it. You have your disguise. Yes, I suppose I do, don't I? Oh, by the way, there's also a gem that pops up, so whenever you make a critical decision, it pops up here. So I don't think it was a critical decision. So, probably a good thing I didn't save there. Whoops. People loving you is such a bad thing, isn't it? Everyone loves Miss Karma. Meanwhile, I cannot even get my father to look in my direction. Hi, Dad. Visual novel. I prefer a person to love me as I am, not because they are compelled to because of a curse. My opinion exactly. I can feel his eyes on me. I refuse to look at him, thinking that his gaze must be filled with judgment. Princess, are you okay? Why wouldn't I be? You look a little lost in thought. I'm fine. Still, it feels like I'm missing something. Is that really the entirety of his curse? But don't people fall in love with you when you're a woman as well? No, Princess. That love is admiration or appreciation. Sometimes lust. And when you're a man? They swarm to me like moths to light. It becomes suffocating. Whom does it affect? The curse only affects women. It is a condition of the curse that they may be a woman and that I be a man. It's part of the fairy tale. So it's conditional? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to read the original fairy tale to be absolutely sure. So each one of these is based on Grimm's fairy tales, to be more specific, so it's an entire universe based on that, in case you're curious. Or Hans Christian Andersen. The one with... Oh! Karma suddenly stands up and points at a man selling red apple-like candies. He pulls me over, insisting that we try one. I try to bring up the subject of the curse again, but to no avail. Karma somehow manages to be distracted for the rest of the day, and is able to effectively dodge my questions. Is Karma hiding something from me? Why would he? I thought pairing up meant helping each other break our curses, which so far it has, which we've seen with Rod and we've seen with Chevalier, which goes to show, with those two in particular being the most obvious cases of partnering up being the best way to break it. Karma seems to be a different kettle of fish altogether, and I think with Fritz and Waltz, it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Fritz, we have no idea. I'm assuming his dad has something to do with it because he's also captain of the Royal Guard. Waltz, because his rival, um, Mithros, who happens to be the court magician, is in there. Something to do with that. So we'll figure that out later on. Does he not want to break his curse? Oh, thank you so much, Lucette. We were in dire need of these supplies. I supervised her well, didn't I? Of course, dear. He did not do anything. Gotta be honest. Princess, you wound me. It's the truth. But we had that nice talk. You avoided half my questions. Karma lets out an exasperated sigh that becomes a very forced yawn. I'm going to bed. Today has been a tiring day. Please excuse me, darlings. Sleep well. Sleep well, Karma. Karma walks away, leaving me alone with Parfait. He's not so bad, you know. I do not know why I agreed to work with him. Also... Okay, got a few minutes until the clock goes off. 1 second. I do not know why I agreed to work with him. And I got stuff going on in the background, so give it a few seconds and I will be back. But until then, enjoy this new music and I'll read, and then I'll continue with the read. Stay tuned. There we go, guys. Sorry for the interruption, and we will keep going. I do not know why I agreed to work with him. Give him a chance, Lucette. I did not get a single good deed today. It's not just about the acts, but about the intentions. Did Karma just use me then? I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Tonight I'll rethink my partnership. All right, that's good. That's great, Zen. Good to hear. All right. I barely sleep that night. When I wake up the next day, my body is sore from carrying supplies around town yesterday. The more I think about karma, the more my anger boils inside of me. How could I have not gotten a good deed yesterday? Did you not think about your own intention, Lucette? After 2 cycles, you should know. But then again, remember like the good place where you just don't remember the previous stuff? I just had to find him first thing in the morning. I see him at his usual table, once again staring out the window. A dark aura seems to surround him, and I notice that no one is sitting with him today. Karma. He keeps staring outside, and his eyes are glassy. Karma! Oh, Princess! Good morning. It is far from a good morning. I did not sleep at all last night. What a shame. His voice is surprisingly cold, his tone rather dismissive. I was too busy thinking about yesterday. You told me that helping you would maybe help me complete a good deed. I put in my necklace, which hasn't changed at all since I received it. Do you see? Not another piece. You get pieces added to your glass slipper? That's charming. I was thinking that pairing up with you was a bad idea. Princess, did you just say that you were paired up with me? I did. You must have known. Oh my. I assumed that you just wanted to help me. I didn't know you were pairing up with anyone. That's right. I never told him directly I wanted to partner up. Should I have? Well, you did with your previous 2 partners. Why didn't you do it with this one? Well, it does not matter what I say anymore, because I do not think you can help me. Princess, I can't help you do a good deed. You have to do them on your own. I can present you with opportunities, though. Opportunities? We start first by thawing the ice around your heart. So, even Karma's calling me the Ice Princess. At least I can speak my mind and don't pretend to be someone I'm not. I do not promise things that I cannot deliver either. Princess, I do believe you misinterpreted my words yesterday. That's not my fault. Patience is a virtue. Now, if you could, I would like some time alone. I did not sleep well yesterday. Didn't sleep well? Oh dear, that makes all 3 of us. Of course, it would not be the last we see of Rumple. Gotta get my glass at the ready. He strides toward the table with a confident grin on his face and then takes another seat. Oh my. Well, on the bright side, at least you won't freeze outside. Oh man. Karma lets out a sigh. Visual novel. Foul man, what are you doing here? You flirt with the man once and he hates you, is that it? No, you flirt with the man and then you insult him unnecessarily. Oh, I thought that was all in good fun. Yeah, if you saw the previous chapter, Karma and... I'm so used to saying Chevalier, but since he's still known as Rumple here, I'm going to call him that. Let's just say Karma and Rumple, they don't see eye to eye a lot. Like, they are at each other. Something about that expression on Rumple's face tells me that is not true at all. Are they always going to be at each other's throats now? I kind of wonder. Well, we didn't get the resolution of the dispute with Rumple. Will we get the resolution here with Karma? I wonder. What are you doing here, Rumple? I couldn't help but overhear that you were looking for a partner, Princess. I thought I might offer my assistance since I know that I can make you far happier than this fool over here. Would you like me to hit you again? What is the problem, sir? I only came to provide assistance where you could not. Rumple turns to me, grabs my hand, and winks at me. What do you say, Princess? We could be wonderful partners, and in no time at all, I swear I would have your heart aflutter. Before I could slap his hand away, Karma slaps him instead. I cannot help the surprise in my face. Would you like another slap? I'm in no mood for pleasantries today. I don't know how I mistook you for a lady. You're the most brutish man here. Oh, he did it again! Oh my gosh! A slap for each cheek, darling. Would you like a third? Rumple stands abruptly from the table and glares at Karma. Honestly, I did not know he had such a dark side to him. This is kind of scary. Oh man. I'm nervous about his backstory now. But let's see. Rumple stands abruptly from the table and glares at Karma. I can almost see electricity bouncing between the two of them as they stare over my head at each other. I see Jurian walking towards us with a stern look on her face. I would never hurt a person unnecessarily. I do not resort to violence. Because he is a doctor and he does the Hippocratic Oath, so that is that. There is that. My then. That gives me all the openings I need. Oof. Character development number 1. This is the time where I'm going to save. Because this could make or break. Gotta make a new page here. So, character development number 1. So do we slap Rumple or stand up for Rumple? That is the question. Because on the one hand, slapping Rumple at this point would be very in character with Lucette because she's very blunt. But on the other hand, though, that would be ganging up on Rumple where it hurts. So, I don't know if Lucette would tolerate this. At this point. Oh. This is tricky. So, what do you guys think? Feel free to watch the previous playthroughs. Unfortunately, I forgot to download the Chevalier Rumple run. So, unfortunately, I don't have a record of that one, so I am going to re-record it in the proper chronological order. But... So like I said earlier, just one deviation will be enough to trigger the bad ending. So, on the one hand, Lucette, I think probably expected she would stand up for Rumple. But on the other hand, though, because this is early Lucette, it's really hard to predict. But on the other hand, though, Lucette is very, very blunt. So, and she felt uncomfortable too. So, this is tricky, honestly, because like early Lucette is more likely to slap, but then as she develops, she's more likely to defend. Let's see. Let's try to log here. Makes it easier. Before I could slap his hand away, of course he's dead. But because I think because he's done it too many times. Because that's 2, almost going for a 3rd. I think she might take the risk and stand up for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot, even though I have a feeling it might be the first one. But let's try the second one, because I feel like that was overdoing it. No matter how annoying Rumple is, I don't think he deserves to be abused so much. Besides, Karma doesn't usually lash out like this. I move to stand in front of Rumple. Princess? This is pathetic, Karma. I know you're not in the mood for pleasantries, but that's no excuse to hurt Rumple. Princess, please move. You're acting like a petulant child. Fine. You're right. I think I might have actually figured out the route for this one. So, basically, with Rumple, it's the push to stand up more. Whereas for Karma, I think for this route, it's to encourage him to hold back. I figured it out, so I know the rest of it. At least if I think I'm doing this correctly. So fingers crossed. I wasn't expecting him to so easily admit a mistake. I turned to Rumple. I was only standing up for you, Rumple, because karma is annoying me. I looked down at my necklace, but there's no extra piece. So that wasn't a good deed either. No, duh! Alright, what's happening over here? Jurian comes to stand in front of us, her expression stern. Oh, nothing, my sweet. I was just showing myself out. Thank you, Princess Lucette. Rumple leaves, and I'm alone with Karma. He slumps back down into his chair. After making sure he won't do anything rash again, Jurian leaves us. And that was the first critical decision. I'm sorry, Princess. It appears I really was being a child. Rumple was harmless, and there was no reason for me to act as uncivilized as I did. What would Father think? Father? Oh, it's nothing. But please, if you would, can you give me some time alone? Fine. I leave Karma sitting there by himself and return to the front of the tavern, where Anise has more chores waiting for me. Today I have to work with a server, which is still better than working with Mr. Broom. The usual people are at the tavern and I overhear conversations as I work. At one point, Garland walks over to the bar and Anise serves him a drink. He looks sullen, and I watch him curiously for a few moments. So a little character side note, Garland and Jurian are former palace guards who both got kicked out by Fritz's dad, who's the captain of the guard, because, well, a little bit of a spoiler, turns out they figured out his plot before they could do anything about it. They get kicked out, essentially. And then Anise used to be maiden for Lucette. And then she kicked her out, and then that's what basically set the events of this game in motion. But I know she's staring at Jurian, who is talking sternly to two drunken men continuously clacking their bottles together at a table. If you make too much of a scene here, you're going to bother the other customers. But the same people are here all the time, eh? We're not bothering anyone, huh? Garland looks so agitated. What's wrong with him? I will not stand to have you call me that again. Listen up, woman. You may have a knight in the palace before, but you got no such title now. Garland stands up and I see some anger in his eyes. The people at the bar look up at him with worry. I may have no title, but I still demand respect. Amen, sister. Sir Garland? Are you okay? He looks back at us almost like he's coming out of a trance. I'm fine. Sorry about that, ladies. He sits back down, glancing once more at Jurian as she continues speaking to the men. They glance at Garland warily, their expressions more somber. Why was he acting that way? Garland's usually more composed. Princess, is something on your mind? No. I brush all thoughts of what just transpired from my mind as I return to my work. Hours go by and my body protests to all the leaning I have to do. Even though I had to carry around a lot around town yesterday, it was nice to be out for a while. Maybe I am better off helping him just to avoid the chores in here. At least it stops me from being worked to the bone. Princess, you're doing very well today. I always perform like this. But today you're delivering everything... Excuse me. But today you're delivering everything really quickly. Do you mean to say I don't perform well on other days? No, Princess. I only mean to say that today your performance is even better than normal. Is that supposed to be a compliment? I walk away from Anise, who stares after me sadly. Yo, she's trying! I mean, I admit though, the wording feels a little backhanded, so yeah, I don't blame myself for acting that way. If she wanted to give me a compliment, she could have said something that wasn't so backhanded. As the tavern clears for the day, I finally have time to sit down and relax. As I'm sitting there, Waltz pulls up a chair and sits up in front of me. Hello, Princess. I heard from my niece that you were excellent at your job today. Congratulations on improving. Princess? So you're mocking me now, too? Princess, I think you're taking things too seriously. The intention of a compliment is to, well, compliment someone. We're not making fun of you. Then again, the way she said it though, I have to agree with what we said on that one. It feels very backhanded. Opinion down below. Do you think Anis's compliment was backhanded? So in case you need to figure out the exact phrasing, it was something along the lines of... Oh, Prince is doing very well today, but today you're delivering everything really quickly. And let me just say that your performance is even better than normal. So, feel free to put your opinion down below, whether on YouTube or on Twitch. Princess, I think you're taking things too seriously. The intention of a compliment is to, well, compliment someone. We're not making fun of you. You are implying they're not normally as good at this. We never said you weren't good at this, only that you were better today. Let me give you an example. I put on puppet shows for kids. Sometimes the children come to me and say the show was even better than usual. So the children are telling you that your shows aren't normally satisfactory. Not at all. The children always smile regardless of whether they like the show. As long as you're trying your best, that's all that matters. The people in the bar always smile when we deliver food to them, aren't they? No. No one likes me here. Maybe if you smiled, they would smile back. I'm not going to smile for any of them. I do not owe them anything. You don't need to owe anyone a smile. Any smile that isn't owed is fake. Princess, I'm leaving, Waltz. I want some time to myself. I walk upstairs to my bedroom, pointedly ignoring the look of sadness on Waltz's face. Maybe we'll get another dream sequence. So, another explanation that we find out earlier. Turns out, Lucettes' mother was a witch. And there's two crystals. I forget the first one, but the second one is the Tenebrarum. The first one is controlled by fairies like Parfait, and the second one, Tenebrarum, is controlled by witches. And Lucettes' mother fell into possession of it, and as a result, did a fairy tale curse on the entire kingdom. But then it also resulted as well, obviously, Lucette being one of the victims of it. But then as it turns out, the reason why she's ultimately getting the Cinderella curse is because she is the next Tenebrarum bearer. Her birthday is not too long from the point of the story, which she'll come of age and she'll become the Tenebrarum bearer. So if she doesn't become a good person before that happens, essentially, it's pretty much guaranteed to be Ragnarok in this kingdom. She doesn't know that yet, though, in this chapter. She doesn't know it until maybe around chapter 5 or 6. So yeah, that'll come into play much more importantly much later. So we'll see a dream sequence in a little bit. And there's some plot that Mithros has with her mom, because apparently her spirit is still in the crystal somehow. So, and apparently she wasn't always like that. It's the nature of the crystal that kind of ultimately corrupted her, from what I've heard. But we'll figure that out in later chapters. Let's just get there. I've been sleeplessly laying on my bed for hours. Sometimes I hear the sounds of people walking through the hallway. Who would be up at this time of night? I need to leave and get some fresh air. It's eerily quiet at night. I stop when I hear faint sounds coming from outside. Someone's doing sword practice. What is that? I will save. Probably isn't anything major though, but still want to save my spots. But in this case, I'm gonna go outside. Well, I did say I needed some fresh air. No point in backing out now. I walk to the front door. Princess Delora, that's her name, Delora. She disguised herself as a doll in Lucett's room, and then cursed her right there. That was so genius, I'm not gonna lie. Princess? I turn around and see Delora looking at me with amusement flickering in her eyes. Princess, what are you doing? Getting some fresh air. It's dangerous out at night, you know. You can't just keep me inside like some caged bird. I didn't say you had to stay inside, I said it was dangerous. You might need to get your ears checked. And there won't be any problem with me going out right now. Princess, you only hear what you want to hear. You can't go outside without an escort. I'm not going to go far. Before Delora could stop me, I walk out the front door and head in the direction of the sounds. You must be the most disobedient princess I ever met. Well-behaved women really make history, Delora, as you should probably know. And you must be the most annoying witch. Delora lets an undignified snort as she catches up to me. Fine, then. We'll go on this little night stroll together. Delora and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Those sounds. It sounds like metal against metal. Well, I guess you, being part of the karma, you would find out eventually. Excuse me? I get the answer to my question when we walk through the trees and come into a clearing. Gotta get a cutscene? Gotta get a cutscene? I finally see where the sounds are coming from. Yep, I knew it! Whoa! Yes, I knew it! So that means at night we have to be that's the time we have to reset it. So anyway. Ooh, new song too. Sweet. It sounds like something out of a mystery game. Okay, I'm gonna go into it anyway. Two men are standing in the clearing, swords clashing. One of the men is Garland, who's poised with his sword. It takes me a moment to realize that the other is Karma, who isn't in a dress. So, it was he who was with Waltz that night? Neither he nor Garland noticed it at first. Princess, you're staring. Of course I am. What is all this? A practice session. Karma is a very talented swordsman, and he practices at night with either Jurian or Garland, depending on who's not on patrol. Karma can use a sword that well? The king told me once that only knights could have such skill. Just who is Karma? Oh, if it isn't the princess. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've totally cosplayed as Karma. Like, if I had to cosplay as Karma though, I would probably lean more towards the dress one though, but his armor looks cool too. His voice is nothing like the feminine voice I always hear from him. Karma actually sounds like a man. I noticed him looking at me in between strikes with a little smile. How does he remain so composed and steady with the distraction? Princess? Karma quickly finds an opening in Garland's hesitant stance, and then pins him to the ground with the sword, still smiling. To be distracted is to die, Garland. I know. The ability to see distractions and then put them in the back of your mind is one every knight should hone. You must know everything that is happening around you, but only deal with the pertinent things. Yes, sir. Karma straightens, sword in hand. Moments later, Garland stumbles to his feet and gives an obedient bow. Karma nods at him before sheathing his sword. A slow melancholy begins to creep into my heart. For some reason, seeing this sword practice makes me nostalgic, though I'm not sure why. What are you practicing for? To protect, Princess. Knowing the sword is the same as knowing the shield. It's a means to protect. To protect? I think I remember having this kind of conversation with them before. I can never figure out how to counter an opponent when they're mere inches from my face. My commander called that one the enemy's kiss, a standoff where your eyes lock into your opponents because of the proximity. The best way to counter that is to face the sword in the opposite direction. It throws your opponent off because they're not looking. Oh, that makes sense. But enemy's kiss, what a name. It seems so dramatic for a sword move, doesn't it? Swordplay is dramatic, though, isn't it? Isn't the most effective swordplay not meant to be flashy? Princess! Didn't notice you here. Good morning, Princess. Well, the most effective swordplay cannot be predicted. The commander says it needs to be robust. And quick. Sometimes swordplay can feel like dancing, though, which is why some fans think that professionals are flashy. Case in point, lightsaber fights. Do you know how flashy those fights are? Or like some of those martial arts movies like Ip Man or Crouched Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or even John Wick, if you want to go more recent. Man, the way they choreograph it, it's very much like a dance. This is why I think stunt and dance coordinators seriously need to be recognized in award season, because there's so much work that goes into fighting and dancing that makes it look as if it's effortless, even though it's anything but. So, just definitely check those things out. Crouched Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Not Sword of Destiny, though. Sword of Destiny's terrible. The very first movie with Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, and Zhang Ziyi, and John Wick. And anything with Jackie Chan in it, because the coordination is just excellent. And Ip Man, especially Ip Man Legacy, Master Z, or Master Z, whatever region you're from, that'll give you a sense of how beautifully coordinated fighting can be, and how to shoot an action scene right. By the way, that seems unnecessary. However, I do agree with the set in some senses that sometimes you gotta be more efficient with your moves, especially nowadays. Like, there's a reason why things like MMA and things like Penchak Salat, versus things like Penchak Salat tend to be popular. MMA is a bit more, it takes the most efficient moves and gets down to it. Like things like Jeet Kune Do, not very flashy. It's very efficient and precise. But I feel like things like Penchak Silat, Wing Chun, Aikido, which I used to practice, I think they still have their place in martial arts. So, this is a great debate. I think even martial arts still have this debate to this day. So, feel free to talk it out. Everyone has their own methods, their own skills. All of us knights fight for different reasons as well. Exactly. I have my own reasons, they have their own reasons. Isn't it to protect all of us in the palace? Well, yes, but we protect everyone in the castle for different reasons, Princess. The knights protect for different reasons. I turned to Karma. But, Karma, you're not a knight. No, I'm most definitely not. But since Garland and Jurian begged me to teach them, I've somehow become their mentor. There is no way Garland and Jurian would do that. After all, the both of them were the best knights of Angiel before they were stripped of their titles. Karma actually speaks the truth. Jurian and I really did have to get down on our knees and beg him to instruct us. So, that means Karma's basically the guy from A Knight's Tale. A commoner who happens to have really awesome sword skills. But I bet he had to survive on that stuff too. And obviously, he's cursed with the Beauty of the Beast curse. That cost him greatly. What? Is Karma really so talented? So you're finally impressed with me. What do you think, Princess? I am the picture of elegance in this outfit, aren't I? You know, I don't know why you and Grumple fight so often. You really are very similar. And that's why they fight so often. Don't compare me to that fool. He has no class. Just because you come from different backgrounds doesn't mean he has less class. So the reason you were tired today because you do these practices at night? Oh, I suppose if it got red-handed. Why does this have to be a secret? Does it have to do with Karma's curse? But he is not in his disguise now. We could have been working on breaking our curses today. But no, you decided that staying up late into the night and practicing was more important. That's probably why you were grumpy this morning. Well, protection is vital, don't you think? Garland, you were at the palace. How is that Karma possesses more skill with the sword than you? Princess? Karma is special, Princess. He's more talented with the sword than a lot of other people. And I do pride myself on being a splendid instructor. But never fear, Princess. I will help you dispel your curse. After all, you did just suggest that we were still partners. Can you really help me with my curse? But how we do that but just presenting opportunities? We'll try again tomorrow, darling. But for now, Garland and I have some more work to do. This time, Garland, do not lose focus. Yes, sir. The sound of swords carries through the night air, and for a long while, I stand with Ballora watching the two men fight. Karma chides Garland often, telling him his concentration is waning. Another thing that's really good at telling a state of mind, which I've personally found, is archery. Archery was a really great way to figure out when my mind was wandering versus when I was completely focused versus when I was overthinking. And overthinking is the worst one, followed by mind wandering, from what I found, at least personally for my aim. So, if you've never done archery, go to a range or a sports club somewhere and give it a shot. It's really great. And it's one of those lifetime sports you could do like forever. Like there was this old guy, like this 80-something old guy, who did an amazing shot. I will probably edit this video for a more YouTube appropriate video and put that video in there so you can just see how it is. It's really cool. Karma is a good swordsman. Perhaps even better than the Palace Knights. Sword fighting is another good one. Try it out. The noble swordplay repeats again and again in my head, even when I return to the tavern for the night. And oh, dream sequence, about time. Lucette, I've told you before that the knights are an unruly bunch. But, Mother, they are so much fun to watch. They're dangerous, Lucette. Any person with a sword has the potential to use it on you. But Father says that those knights are supposed to protect me. That they are, as that is their order. But as people, they may not be so good, Lucette. Not so good? The king has told you that the knights are meant to use their swords to protect you, but you cannot trust them completely. Even though Father said they would keep me safe? Sometimes the people we trust are the most deceitful. And when a man with a sword is a weapon to use against you, no matter what he says, be wary that he can turn on you. Haven't I told you before that you should not trust people? But the knights are... Even knights can be treacherous, Lucette. Do not trust a man with a sword. He can be dangerous. Yes, Mother. I understand. Try to understand, my sweet. I only want you to be safe. Yes, I understand. Chapter 4, Girlfriends. And that's some of the indoctrination that Lucette's been fighting against this entire game, essentially. Turian, if you don't come at me like you truly mean to stab me, you'll never land a hit. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It's been about 2 weeks since I first saw Karma here in the forest practicing with Garland. I've come here every night since then, but I've never stayed as long as Karma. So I actually have work to do in the mornings. Alright, here I come. Their two swords clash and Karma laughs as he throws Jurian back and taps her lightly on the shoulder with the sword. That makes 4 hits, and that one was easy. Is that the best you can do, Jurian? I notice that every time Karma practices his Jurian, he's in his Miss Karma disguise. He says it is because of the curse and because he does not want Jurian to fall in love with him. Isn't he being overdramatic? I thought someone like Jurian could fall in love with Karma. Be subtle and quiet. Garland tells me you're usually good at that. I am, sir. And why the exception today? Sir? Darling, it would happen to me because of the way I've dressed, would it? Are you still not used to it? Oh my god! Hit the nail on the head, have I? It's not very chivalrous to hurt a lady, of course, but that logic applies to men as well. An enemy is an enemy, Jurian, even if your enemy is a delicate flower like myself. Very interesting argument, and that's the debate even in movies and TV and games. That's still happening even now. Like that Deadpool 2 quotes, like, you're a female combatant. Should I combat you? Should I not combat you? I don't know. And, hold on. Sorry about that, got a voice call. But anyway, enemy is an enemy, Jurian. Even your enemy is a delicate flower like myself. Delicate flower? Jurian, you should hit him on the head for that. But, Princess, he is not delicate at all. Jurian laughs and I scowl at her. Is she laughing at me? She's laughing with you, Lucette. You made a pretty good joke there, actually. That landed pretty well. You and Karma seem to get along. I doubt it. Oh, Princess, you wound me. You always say that. You wound me where Jurian's blade cannot. Something flashes in Jurian's eyes as she raises her sword again. Karma stands ready as Jurian rushes at him with her sword. Their swords clash again. I wonder. Karma, your back's open. Karma turns. Jurian taps him on the shoulder and laughs aloud. I did it! A single hit! It looks like you have a weakness too, Karma. No, it wasn't a weakness. It was lack of sleep catching up with me. Right. Why did you listen to me? You told Garmin the other day that it was crucial to listen. It was only listen and watch the most important things. Also, let me check something really quick. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Alright, practice is over for now. I can see Garland coming in for his practice. And that's why they've been practicing separately. Oh my god. Karma walks to a corner to have a drink. I should probably head back to the tavern soon, but there is something I want to see first. On her way out, Jurian gives a solemn nod to Garland. She pauses to say something to him and then looks at me, noticing my vague curiosity. I was just mentioning what a good swordsman Karma is. I have seen him fight, and Karma is a good swordsman. There's no doubt about it. And is practicing with him really so special? If Jurian and Garland are going out of their way, then clearly he is. He is fast on his feet and quick with his reactions. He's an excellent person to train under, even better than most of the commanders in the palace. I could second that. Even better than Ross, remember him? The first commander we trained under, the one that punished slow learning with extra exercises. You wanted to do more exercises than I did. Something about you being distracted. I was watching the way you swung your sword to make sure you didn't hurt yourself. Oh! Ladies and gents and non-binary unicorns, we got our answer right here. There we go. There we go. Okay. My fellow unicorns, we got the answer. I've always been overprotective. Well, The boss suddenly starts to look at Karma, who's smiling slyly on the side. Why does he have that look on his face? Well, that's a sign. We can't keep the commander waiting. Garland shakes his head, his expression snapping back into something more serious. Right. The two exchange quick farewells before Jurian waits and steps out of the clearing, leaving Garland with Karma. Can't you just switch it, Will? You're in a dress today. Are you two really opposed to hurting me when I'm in a dress? Are you worried about ruining it? No. It's just so strange. You move so well even in a long dress. But yes, Jurian did mention almost stepping on it once. Impossible! I am the picture of elegance! Of course, sir. Karma shrugs Garland's comment off. Two ready their swords, then get right into practice. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out, like, how this works. Like, is it at night that Karma's only able to be a man? Is it an outfit? Or is it like one day Karma's a man, the next day something else? Or is it like moon based? I'm confused. Hopefully there's a better explanation later on. Jurian is taking over Garland's control now, so that Garland can get into practice time. So Garland, have we told Jurian yet? Oh my god! This is so trolly! No? The conversation that Karma always has with Garland is the real reason why I stay behind to watch them practice. I don't understand why Garland answers Karma's question if doing so makes him so depressed. Did you ever say anything to her, Garland? Why don't you just confess to her already? Dang, Lucette, such a blunt. I mean, I like her blunt personality, but I mean, it's just like, she's so oblivious as to why she can't be, like, nobody else could be as blunt as her. Like, she doesn't get it. Karma lands an easy hit on Garland, who sighs in response. Whatever Garland thinks about Jurian, he gets distracted. I don't understand his feelings at all, but seeing him remain quiet frustrates me. Jurian is talented and poised. I could never be good enough for her. Oh my god! Does everyone wins heart if you don't compliment her looks as well, Garland? Well, she's pretty too. Beautiful. And then there's me. Aren't they both knights? Haven't they been training together for a long time? Oh god. Number 2. I can see why you wouldn't tell her, or just say something to her. So, we're basically... This is so funny. It's like... We're trying to be ships to Karma, and yet we're working on other ships at the same time. This is fun, actually. This feels very easy. So I feel like... With Garland, however, I think... Yeah, Lucette, she's still on her blunt stage, so I think she will say... I think she will keep her ground on just confess her feelings. So I think she'll just keep going on that train and say something to her. At least that's my guess. Well, all you ever do is talk about her. Even Karma says your concentration is lacking because she's always on your mind. Just tell her. If she does not like you back, that's it. If she doesn't like me back? Confessions are hard, princess. Very tedious. You're only saying that because you're dramatic about everything. It's from a teenager who has no life experience. The very nature of love is dramatic, darling. Yeah, if you don't know the other person very well. But enough idle chatter, sir. Let's continue our training. I end up staying longer than I intended. By the time I considered returning to the tavern, Garwin and Karma are wrapping up for the night. I have a question for Karma, so I wait until Garwin leaves before I approach him. You're still here, Princess. Were you seeking out alone time with me by chance? I have enough of that every day when we run errands. I just have a question for you. You'll always come to the right person. What can I do for you, Princess Lucette? You ask Garwin the same question every time we train, and he always tells you that he cannot confess. Karma nods in acknowledgement, but his intention is he's on his sword. He expects it carefully before sheathing it. It frustrates me. You're frustrated? That look of his always annoys me. Oh my. Oh my. It is annoying. Did you want to ask me why I won't confess because you're so frustrated? Yes. I suppose after almost 2 months I do know you a bit better. You do not know anything about me. And I do not know anything about Karma either. Confessing isn't easy, dear Lucette. Surely you must realize that the possibility of rejection is a significant deterrent. But if you never ask, you never get an answer, and the stress of worrying stays with you and ruins everything. True that, but as a person who has never confessed their love to anybody, I could totally relate to Garland. In so many ways, especially not feeling worthy about it. Oof. It's funny because I'm actually going on a date tomorrow, so fingers crossed, people, that this visual novel maybe gives me some inspiration. I feel like an otaku from an anime. Like the world God only knows, but I'm not as successful. Why are you staring at me? Is that the reason you're so blunt, Princess? Blunt? You're far more blunt than I am. Princess Lucette, you truly are amusing. You're as sharp as a knight's blade. I am not amusing. That is a matter of opinion, darling. It really is insufferable. I think Rumpel is more insufferable. And yet I still come to him for advice. The scariest part of a confession is the possibility of rejection. Can you imagine loving someone and then finding out that they don't feel the same way about you? My thoughts shift to the king. My chest tightens. Princess Lucette? And that's why the chapter is called Girlfriends! Cover reaches out a hand to brush a strand of hair out of my face. I slap it away without realizing. He pulls his hand back with a gentle sigh. My apologies, Princess. No. I cannot imagine. No? Loving someone and finding out they do not feel the same way? I always knew my father never loved me. My understanding is different from what Karma is referring to. Besides, I no longer hold any love in my heart for the king. I have already given up hope on him. Right? It is a good thing you haven't experienced and rejected love, Princess. It is one of the worst feelings. Karma asks to be alone, so I returned to the tavern by myself that night. You'd be surprised. Woo! Okay. But man, that is deep. So quick question, y'all. Have you ever experienced an unrequited love? Or just in general, you have a desired connection that ultimately you just don't go ahead with it? Are you going through that right now? Feel free to leave a comment below. But man, I felt that. I really felt that. Whew. Oh, but yeah, I got a few followers. Sweet. So, Gumiel followed me. Thank you so much, Gumiel. And Astriel TV. I've been a big fan of yours. Thank you so much. So, anyway. I do not know why I greeted this when nothing changes. So, let me get up here. Alright. So, My goal for 2020, hopefully, is to get a bit more action-packed games, because I know those are things that I know are more popular on Twitch, but as of right now, I just don't have the funds to do so. I do have a coffee account, so in case you want to donate, there's a link in my YouTube page, and you could also check out my Discord server. Zed, oh man. I think those emotes say a lot right there. But yeah. Anyway, today I'm once again out in town with Karma, running errands. Doing partners, he insists on me coming with him every day. They're going shopping! Oh my gosh! Why do you need a new dress? Because a lady needs all kinds of dresses in her closet. Variety is key when you want to make a good impression. And he's not wrong. Why would you want to make a good impression in people in a disguise? A disguise is meant to conceal you. It does not exist to be flaunted. Oh no, darling. I only wear a disguise to stop the curse from working on people. It's not really to conceal anything but the fact that I am a man. Being doted on by a married woman, or a woman in love with another man, is especially troubling. Is the curse really that powerful? Karma leads me over to the dress store, and our conversation pauses when he goes to the store owner to get specifications for a new dress. And, funnily enough, one of my friends actually wrote a Beauty and the Beast Twisted Fairy Tale, where essentially, it's kind of like a morality tale, essentially, where it talks about falling in love with appearance rather than character. And that's a problem even today, it's still happening. I mean, why else do we have a lot of very exceptionally beautiful celebrities? There's nothing wrong with that. But then, we focus so much on their appearance until maybe like their 30s or 40s when they start to like change dramatically. And then after that, we just think, that's it, they're not all that anymore. Their achievements are nothing, even though people may have worked super hard to get up to where they are. I mean, case in point, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, he started off as a theater actor in Australia, has one of the most rigorous acting programs in the world. I mean, compared to America, it's like, America feels like a footnote. Just go check out their stuff. It's like, they create some pretty amazing triple threats over there when it comes to talented people. But yeah, long story short, he worked his butt off to go from theater actor to the movie and TV actor that we know him as today. Yeah, because we often associate him with Wolverine and good-looking people. We easily forget that he had to work from the bottom to the top, just like we all do in everyday life, to get to where he is now. So yeah, think about that, people. Some people started off in a very different space. Or like Meghan Markle, like we talked about earlier in Zach's stream, actually. Did you know that she actually started off as one of those briefcase girls in Deal or No Deal? I actually didn't remember that until she started acting on Suits. So, yeah, there's that. So anyway, Karma leads me over to the dress store, and our conversation pauses when he goes to the store owner to get specifications for a new dress. And believe it or not, I actually do custom dresses myself. Well, I draw stuff. So if you're curious about my designs, feel free to let me know down in the comments below if you want me to show off a few. Some that I've actually realized, and other ones that I've kept straight to the drawing board. So let me know. When we leave, Karma suggests going someplace to reward me for all my hard work. You're treating me? Why wouldn't I, darling? You've been helping me for a while now. What is this feeling? Gratitude? Karma does owe me for everything that I've done for him, so why do I feel like this? Yeah, it's called gratitude, Lucette. I know it's a very foreign feeling for you. You know, it would be much easier for you to just help me carry bags. Oh, there! Let's buy one of those cupcakes. Karma cuts in my suggestion easily. Also, I love cupcakes. Cupcakes are great. Does he really dislike work so much that he'd rather pay me off for helping him? Karma takes it to a stand showcasing all kinds of cupcakes. There's some with colored frosting, others with fancy decorations. Some are especially eye-catching, like a bright blue cupcake decorated with little stars. That sounds nice. If it has vanilla icing, I'll totally enjoy it. Anything catch your fancy, ladies? All of them, actually. Alas, I do not think eating them all would be good for my diet. What do you think, Princess? We'll share one. I turn back to the cupcakes, which I realize are big enough to share between 2 people. Are we gonna get a cupcake eating scene? Because that's gonna be interesting. Am I choosing one for myself, or one that Karma would like? I guess he is treating me, but... 2 cupcakes catch my eyes. One is a tiny little creature sitting on top of the frosting. It seems to be a little lizard of sorts. Now, it is strange. The colors remind me of Karma's dress. The other cupcake is decorated with little chocolate pearls. Those pearls are small and somehow cute. But Karma might like the other cupcake? Oh, so it's between those 2. Which would you like, Lucette? Oh boy. So, we've got cupcake with pearls versus creature with a lizard. That reminds her of his dress. This is tricky. So, the cupcake with the pearls would show that Lucette actually cares for other people. But then, the cupcake with the lizard might give us an opportunity to find out more of, Karma's backstory. This is tricky. Is she compassionate enough yet at this point of the story? Or is she gonna go with what she wants? I still think it's too soon. I think she's gonna go with the fancy cupcake with the lizard. She's treating him. Or he's treating her. I'll have that one. The one with the... Oh my, is that a chameleon? Oh my gosh! Clock. Why, Clock? Why do you have to strike at the most inopportune moment? And it's midday. The Cinderella hour, ladies and gents, and my fellow unicorns. Any minute now. Okay. Now they're no longer numb. Anyway. Oh my, is that a chameleon? A chameleon? That's too apt, honestly. It is a chameleon! Oh, that's adorable! Sir, we'll take one of those! I was thinking he'd like it for the colors, not the chameleon. Whatever that is. Let's go enjoy this somewhere else, shall we? Well, that told us a lot. Karma leads me to the middle of the plaza, and the 2 of us find a table. He walks off to get a fork and a knife before returning and handing a set to me. Do you really need a knife and a fork to eat a cupcake? Well, if it's huge, then yes. If it's tiny, no. But I am fancy like that. So, before we got your dress and you distracted me with cupcakes, we were talking about your curse? Were we? It's not an interesting topic. I'm. I was glad we had gotten off that tangent, to be honest. Why did you want to talk about it? You have your secrets just like I do, Princess. But the whole point of pairing up is to help each other with our curses. Princess, you want to help me? Only because it is necessary that I help him so he can help me. I haven't made any progress helping you, though. You said you would provide me with opportunities. That could have been right there, and I kind of just lost it. Anyway. I'm not very good at that, I'm not very good at that, am I? I'm sorry, Princess. Well, I don't think I've done anything for you either. But Princess, you have been helping me for the last few weeks. Whether or not it's an obligation, you still are good company. Good company? No one's ever told me that before. They only chide me for being difficult to speak with. That's a really cute cupcake, actually. I want that. Karma starts cutting the cupcake. His knife sliding through the frosting and cake with ease. I've definitely never seen such refined manners for a simple dessert. So, I've got two theories. Either Karma's a commoner who happens to have really good sword skills and refinement, or he's a noble who happens to know how to fight. A noble who's not a knight who happens to know how to fight. It would be more amazing if it was the former, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the latter either. What was your life before the curse, Princess? I have no need to tell you any of that. No, it's not necessary, but I am curious. Would I be doing a good deed in telling him? I don't think so. How about we trade off fact for fact? You give me a story today, and I'll give you one tomorrow. I just don't think I'm interested in your life. Well, you do keep asking me about my curse. Only because we're getting on breaking our curses? Okay then, if you want to talk about the past or any secrets, we can talk about this cupcake instead. What? Why does he always start changing the topic? Karma cuts the chameleon on top in half. I notice that he gives himself the head, which is a lot cuter, while I get stuck with the tail. Chameleons are little lizards that can blend into their surroundings. Is he willing to go this far to avoid the subject? When I was a child, my father used to call me a chameleon. What? I hid to avoid responsibilities. Oftentimes no one could find me. Not my father, nor the servants. So he was a noble! Dang it! I was looking forward to seeing if it was the former. So I was right. He's a noble, just happens to be good at sword fighting. If he had servants, that makes him a noble? One day I was out searching for a mythical creature in our garden, and I came upon the chameleon. It was a small, silly little lizard. I only found it because I was looking for something fantastic. The lizard on the cupcake does not seem at all that fantastic. My father explained what it was to me, and he started calling me his silly little chameleon. It was ridiculous, but he said I was always very good at hiding, and so it suited me. What is it, Princess? It seems like you are still good at hiding. You hide behind your disguise and keep many secrets. I suppose I'm still a chameleon, then. I don't think a nickname makes any sense. Sometimes they don't have to. Nicknames don't have to make sense to be endearing, Princess. Can we please just go back to the subject at hand? Yes, this cupcake. If you insist on sharing a story for a story, then I'll tell you something about me. Oh? You didn't seem the type to want to share. I normally don't not see any reason for sharing things from my past, so no. Mother once told me that to confide in someone else was a weakness, which I know from friends and from family that it certainly isn't. And I admit, even the internet in some ways, I mean, nowadays not so much, but in a few ways, once you actually get to know people, another pretty great way to show that Sometimes vulnerability can be a strength. If you know what things to be vulnerable about, that is. More than that, I was always worried that others would judge me. No one has ever wanted to listen to me. I know enough about others' opinions of me to know that they think I am the one at fault. Always. I wouldn't judge you, Princess. Ooh! I mean, I wouldn't judge you for not wanting to say anything to me. I divulged nothing to you, after all. A story for a story. That is the deal, right? I expect you to keep it. Or rather, a fact for a fact. It's not like I have to tell him everything, just something about myself. I will tell you about my life at the palace. It's not as if it's a secret, though I doubt Kama will understand. Ever since Mother died, the palace has been a cold place. Why is the surprise? It's because you see Emmeline and Rod that you assume we are all one big happy family. I do have to admit that Princess Emmeline seems quite gentle. Prince Rod is quiet, but he seems like an honorable man. When I saw you in the Princess's dress store, Princess Emmeline seemed very nice. Is she not? Her kindness is fragile at best. She tries far too hard for it to be genuine. Princess is irritating. I never wanted to be friends with her. The king took a second wife after my mother died, as if she never mattered to him. Karma is silent and I continue to talk, my emotions loosening my tongue. I had meant to stop there, but the words keep coming. The only one who ever showed me any affection in the palace was Mother. The king never paid much attention to me in the first place, but he treats Rod and Emmeline far better than he has ever treated me. What was your mother like? All my fondest memories are of her. She was always with me in the palace, teaching me right from wrong, taught me how not to show weakness, who to speak with. Right! So all of the happy memories, the happiness, comes from the flashbacks of your mother trying to tell you that you can't trust a single person in your life except me. I don't know who's more messed up, if that's Mom or Mother Gothel. Who to speak with? Needless conversation is useless. People are often very likely to lead you astray. That was the reason I never saw any reason to speak with townsfolk. Will you judge me as everyone else does? No, Princess. I'm not judging you. I'm just a little sad. Sad? Why would he be sad? It sounds like you lived an empty life. It was not an empty life. But it sounds like your mother separated you from everyone. It wasn't as if the townsfolk would have accepted me anyway. Mother said they were not to be trusted. Princess, about your mother. I would not hear you speak ill of Mother. No, I only had a question about your mother. Karma coughs and I pause to start him as he clears his throat. What is it? This? Oh, gods! Oh! So he has no control over it! Oh my god! He has no control over it! So that means the change is spontaneous, he can't control it! That's too funny! I hear the change immediately. His voice is lower. Far lower! The soft, gentleness gone. Karma puts a hand to his throat and grumbles. Karma's voice is teetering on the edge of sounding unmistakably male. I've always wondered how he's able to change his voice, but I always forget to ask him about it. What happened to your voice? Oh, it's Miss Karma! I turn to see a young looking girl approaching us. She looks at Karma adoringly. I've always wanted to speak with you, Miss Karma. Ever since you complimented my dress that one time in the dress store? Your dress is lovely today as always, Miss Karma. Karma? Miss Karma, are you okay? I am quite fine. I cannot help but giggle as the girl takes a step back, looking shocked by Karma's now deep voice. Karma curses again in his deep voice, forcing a bright smile on his face. Excuse me. I am feeling under the weather. I notice he is trying to change the pitch of his voice, but the high is still annoying rather than soothing now. Oh, I'm sorry. Karma turns to me urgently, but I'm too amused to offer any sort of assistance. What is it, Miss Karma? Karma's smile was forced, and his eyes are glaring at me. I laugh once again, not being able to help myself. His expression softens, but only slightly. Oh man, this is a hard one. Because, like, this is so easy to tease him at this very moment. But at the same time, though, we should run. This is too funny. I agree, Zen. Good show. Where's my popcorn? I agree. I should have made some. I don't know what to do. So, that is too funny. Ah. So yeah, what should I do? Should I tease him further? Should I do an escape route? Feel free to talk down below. It's gonna be a pretty long one, so I'm gonna go get some snackage really quick. Please enjoy the comedic timing, and I will be right back. Stay tuned, everybody. Alright, I'm back. So, I got a snack that's just as bourgeois, or should I say as noble, as Karma himself. So I got some mixed nuts, got some salted almonds, non-salted cashews, walnuts, and pistachios, and sprinkled in with a few cocoa nibs. Yeah, people, I am that fancy. You already know. I'm in the fast lane from LA to Tokyo. By the way, does Iggy Azalea even still perform anymore? I just showed my age right there. Wow. Anyway, I'm back. Yes, I did save Zen. Yep. My choice, of course. The $1,000,000 question. Which one? Which one? Because it's too easy. It's too easy to tease them. Again, on the other hand, attempting to leave. But on the other hand, I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out. Because regardless, I mean, it's too easy to get a bad end in this game versus how getting the good one perfectly. So I really want to see how this plays out. I think I'm gonna tease him a little bit. He's like, get him is just desserts. I feel terrible, but at the same time, I really want to see what happens. Let's play with him a little bit. He obviously wants to leave, but I cannot help myself. Miss Karma, I do wish you would say something. At the very least, you should thank this girl for her compliment. Oh, no, it's quite alright. Come on, Karma. You're usually the most charming person on these streets. And yes, Zed, I will play both of them, I promise. Thank you. He sounds like he's dying now! I can't help but start laughing again. The small annoyance on Karma's face seems to dissipate completely. Leaving. He takes my hand and curses politely to the girl as he pulls me away. Karma, you sound sick. It's run out. Run out? The potion that Parfait makes for me. I must have talked too much. You talked too much? Yeah, cheers. Carl puts a finger to his lips as he strolls through town. He shakes his head, making it clear that he won't speak to me until later. Oh, God. When we arrive at the tavern, it's already dark. Carmen pauses and turns to look at me. What? Do I keep the low voice, or I keep it high? Let me do low voice for now, and then I'll change it. You have a nice smile, Princess Lucette. I'm glad I can make you laugh. Well, of course I laughed. You sounded ridiculous. Okay, so it's back to high again. Never mind. It's worth sounding ridiculous just to see you smile. You and Rumple really are the same. So I might actually made the right decision after all? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, real quick. I want to see the other one. So I'm going to save this and then load and see what the other one looks like. Let's see. We'll come back to it. So, we'll see the attempt to leave right now. I think we better get going. Karma nods his head. I'll have explaining to do and just sit here. Is there anything I could do to help you two? No, obviously not. I'm sorry. You just don't look amused. Why? I want to try to get us out here faster. Leaving. Okay, so it's similar, but very different. So I'm gonna go back and go the exact same. Oh, we can't reset. Okay. Let me not save. Load. Okay. So similar, very similar. So we're gonna keep the teasing ending, and then we'll skip forward. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna keep the teasing ending to see how that goes. But yeah, so not too much different, but still very awkward. But I think they had more fun with the teasing one. So I think the teasing one was actually the correct path. So I'm leaning towards that. But anyway, you and Rumple really are the same. The power doesn't faze him. He smiles wildly as he leaves for his room. I'm glad I could make you laugh. cannot get those words out of my head, even though I'm supposed to be resting for the night. And yeah, the first one was correct. Teasing was the correct one, I have a feeling. So we'll go over each one as we get to the. If we get the bad end this time, we'll go over each one. If we didn't get the bad end, which probably was very low that I didn't. But if I did, we'll go over which one, like how many I managed to get correctly. If I get just one wrong, I would be shocked. So, because it's only my third time playing this game. I cannot get those words out of my head, even though I'm supposed to be resting for the night. I think I should just go see if Karma is practicing with Jurian or Garland. I leave my room and go down to the reception room. Delora and Parfait let me go to the forest tonight alone now, since they know I'm meeting up with Karma. Parfait is in the reception room tonight, reading a book. I was always told reading in the dark was bad for your eyes. Oh, Princess, I didn't see you. I noticed that she's closed the book and I can now read the cover. She's reading Cinderella? That's my fairy tale curse. The Great War was caused by the fairy tales, right? Yes, that's right. And yet you are reading one. The curses are based off of these fairy tales after all. But why are you reading Cinderella? My curse isn't anything like the fairy tale. It's reversed. True, but the morals remain the same. In order to become Cinderella, you must be good like her. Cinderella had everything handed to her by a fairy godmother. I had everything taken away. Princess, have you truly had everything taken away from you? Compared to what I used to have, what I have now might as well be nothing. You have friendships and people who enjoy your company. No one in this tavern enjoys my company. Are you sure about that, Princess? I think you just have difficulty trusting that we all like you. Like me? Why would you like me? You've become like family here. I haven't even been here that long. It doesn't matter. Everyone here in the Marchen is family. Family? You are saying that everyone in the Marchen is like family? Princess, you're one of my boarders. You're more than just a regular here. You live here with us. So like I said, you're a family. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well. So the Marchen, which is where like they're currently staying in, where like the cafe and this lounge, all this stuff is in. It's basically a special tavern. But, like, yes, it gets customers from like the outside, but the housing and the customer, well, the clientele, it's mainly for those affected by fairy tale curses, or those who know of it. So like Parfait and Delora, they're a fairy and a witch respectively, so of course they'll know that very well. And then Jurian and Garland just happen to know about it, and Anise as well. So everybody else pretty much, or at least almost everybody else, is basically cursed, or knows somebody who is cursed. I speak more with the people here than I have ever spoken to my own family. In the palace, I was always alone. The only person I could speak with was Fritz. Are you going to watch Karma practice? I nod in response. Be safe, Princess. As I head to the door, I recall what happened earlier today. Parfait, what is this potion you make for Karma? And oh yeah, Parfait also, she got poisoned from the Tenebrarum, which is like the opposite crystal for her. So as a result, she's kind of the equivalent of being terminal for a fairy. So she's kind of on her last legs for a cure. Like, she's getting cures from like the people in the Marchen and stuff, but it's obvious she's not going to make it. Case in point, we do have one ending where she doesn't make it, with Chevalier's ending. Well, she doesn't make it, so I'm not going to be surprised if she doesn't make it in the later endings either, to be honest. But I kind of hope she beats the odds. Fingers crossed. You mean the potion I make it change his voice? He begged me to help him when he first designed his disguise. Karma makes a beautiful woman, but he didn't think the illusion was complete without a convincing voice. You know how picky he is. Something else on your mind, Princess? Karma hides his curse, but you must know the conditions for breaking it, don't you? Parfait does not answer. Or are you also keeping it a secret? Princess Lucette, not everyone likes to talk about their curse. I think it would be better if you asked Karma directly. I just don't understand why he won't tell me everything when I am trying to help him. Just as you think your good deeds are difficult, there is also something about Karma's curse that he can't come to terms with. I put my hand to the necklace around my neck. I still haven't performed any good deeds. Can I really do this? I'm going now. I walk out the front door and into the forest. I decided not to think about all this, at least not until later. I wish this was all simpler, and that Karma wasn't cloaked in so many secrets. Oh, another dream sequence! Mother, I went to town today. Oh? I told you not to go into town. Did your father take you? He told me that it would be fun. And was it? No. Everyone looked really angry at me. I don't know why. I told you before, haven't I, dearest one? The townsfolk are jealous of you. Jealous? They're bitter about their lot in life, and because of that, they will seek to use you for their status. You cannot trust them, you said. You cannot trust anyone but me. Trusting others will only lead to heartbreak, we said. You'd only trust me because I will never hurt you. Chapter 5. Favors and Payback. Jeez. We said earlier. Okay, comment below. Who's worse? Mother Garthel or Lucette's mom? I know she has a name. I just can't remember right off the top of my head. Apparently, like, she and Delora were BFFs at one point. I did your turn. By the way. I've been at the marching for a couple of months now, and I still haven't managed to do a single good deed. Today I went out to town with Waltz to buy ingredients for Parfait. Two of us have both been very quiet, which is uncharacteristic for Waltz. Princess? What? Did Karma explain why he wasn't coming with you today? Princess? Does Waltz not like my company? Is that why he's asking why he had to fill in for Karma? He said he was tired. Oh. Waltz turns his head, his eyebrows furrowing in confusion. The town feels different today. It does? I feel as if there are people watching us. How can you tell? I practice. I have a lot of eyes on me when I'm doing my puppet shows, after all. Even before then, I was used to being watched, I guess. Before you were cursed? Why? Well, I was more conspicuous as an adult, I guess. An adult? Oh, right. You have the Neverland curse. You remembered. Yes, I have the Neverland curse. I told you what that was in the tavern once. You're stuck as a child when you should be a man. Right. It's a little inconvenient, but I've gotten used to it. Waltz is so much more straightforward about his curse than Karma. The two of us got into a store. They find the little cups that Parfait asked us to buy. After I pay, Waltz automatically picks up the bags. His help is nice for a change. I've become so accustomed to carrying the bags on my own. So, have you made any progress on your good deeds? You can see it in my necklace, but I have not. But you have changed. I still don't know how I've changed at all. Karma hasn't taught me anything about doing good. Sometimes in order to do good, you need to realize some things about yourself first. Key point number 1. Maybe Karma's not so bad at helping you with that. He is selfish, flamboyant, and acts as if the world revolves around him. But you're still partnered with him. I am. I am okay with Karma's company. Most of the people judge and shun me. But Karma hasn't done that, and he's even mentioned enjoying my company. I have become more tolerant of him, too. Oh, Princess! Walt's eyes light up and I see him pointing ahead to a crowd of people gathered around the center of the town. A woman stands in the middle of the crowd telling people's fortunes. Oh, thank you. Oh, that smells wonderful. We should go and see if we can get our fortunes told. Come on. The crowd around the woman only grows larger until nearly half of the plaza has been taken up. I find myself pushed around in the crowd as I try to follow Waltz. The crowd is dense, though, and in no time at all, I am lost. Waltz! I called for him, but I do not see him over the dozens of people in front of me. And I get to wondering what I got. It looks like crepes. I bet they are crepes, because I've been craving this actually, so. I will wait for him at the outskirts of the crowd. He should be able to find me. I make my way out of the crowd into the edges of an alleyway. But Waltz still does not appear. 10 minutes go by and I consider walking back to the crowd when I hear a voice behind me. Are you looking for someone, madam? I feel someone grab my hand from behind me in the alleyway. Didn't mean to startle you. What do you want? I want to help you return to the palace, Princess Lucette. You know who I am? I do, Princess, and I can lead you back to the palace. Who are you? Someone who's working for the king. But the king does not remember me. The only people who would remember me are witches, fairies, and those with the curse. So, who exactly is this man? You're lying. Princess, why would I ever lie to you? No, come. I'm sure everyone at the palace will be very happy to see you. The man grabs my hand roughly and begins trying to pull me through the alleyway. The first thing I try to do is scream, but the man clamps his free hand over my mouth. The crowd is getting farther from us, and no one can see us in the shadows. Princess, I swear on my word I am bringing you back to the palace. Oh boy. So, if everybody remembers this... Ooh, Zack Fig. Yes. Yes, then. Fight back or wait for an opening. In this case, just try fighting back with screaming, and it hasn't worked. And obviously, physical strength is not really going to work here, so I think at this point, the key thing is to wait for an opening. He will be expecting me to fight back. I have to hold my ground until there's an opening. What would Jurian and Garland do in this situation? Nice and obedient, yeah? Better that way. After all, I'm not a bad guy. You see that? And you have no eyes! And a shadow. That's my response. The man walks me down the alleyway. His hold on me is still tight. I'm forced to walk with him until we get to a dead end. What was that passageway he was talking about? Now's my chance. What is this I see before me? I look up to see Karma standing on the rooftop right above us in his disguise, holding a sword, a broad grin on his face. Madam, you might hurt yourself playing with that sword. You might want to put it down. What is this, sir? Do you feel threatened by me? You should. Karma jumps down from the building and raises his sword in front of him. His eyes are angry, his earlier jovial personality fallen away. Anyone that attacks a lady has to pay for the crime. Karma rushes forward, moving faster than I could see, even in his long dress. The glint of the sword causes the man to fall backwards, loosening his grip on me. I step back from the man's hold and watch as Karma points his sword at the man's neck. Now, I have a sword and you do not. Do you really want to test your luck, sir? This isn't worth it. The man runs off, leaving me alone with Karma in the alleyway. What's this? You were a lot cockier just a few moments ago. I breathe out slowly and relief washes over me. Princess! Walt approaches from where the man had run. So, did you meet the coward fellow on your way here? I bumped into a man who looked as if he was running from death. Oh my, I feel oddly accomplished. Karma and Walt's voices become faded and indistinct as my vision blurs. I'm suddenly light on my feet. All the adrenaline from earlier had dissipated into thin air. I feel tired. Princess! Before I can collapse, I feel arms pulling me back up. Rest easy, Princess Lucette. I close my eyes and fall into blackness. Wow, how did she suddenly collapse like that, though? That's what I'm wondering. Until then, upgrade and snackage. I think it's a crepe. I wonder what's in it. That is good. One thing I would do this Lunar New Year is have another one of those Japanese crepes that I get in Chinatown. It's so good. I recommend it. I think the company's called T-Swirl. I recommend the blueberry one, the blueberry pie one. It's really delicious. They come with like 2 sticks of Pocky, real whipped cream, and vanilla ice cream and blueberries on top. It's really good. Oh yeah. Ah, crystallized sugar, yes. Anyway, when I wake up, Anissa's setting a tray of food down on my bedside table. She does not notice as I rise slowly from bed. Anisse? Oh, Princess, you're up! We were worried about you. Lady Delora and Lady Parfait said you were just out because of shock, but still... How long have I been asleep? Just a few hours, Princess. Don't worry about chores for now. Lady Delora says if you're feeling better later, you can use Mr. Broom. The infamous Mr. Broom! Well, that's the last thing I would want to use at that point. Oh my goodness. I feel the same. I feel the same, Lucette. Mr. Broom equals headache. Where are Karma and Waltz? Waltz is scouting the town looking for the man that captured you. And Karma? I think he might be in his room, Princess. He's got patrol tonight, so he's resting a little bit. He has patrol tonight. That must mean he was resting this morning, too. How did he know that I needed help? Do you need anything, Princess? No, I'm going to visit Karma. What? To thank him? However he knew, if Karma hadn't been there, things would not have ended so well. I know! I wish I could share this with you. It's actually pretty good. Anyway, people, if you guys need to cut off for any reason, whether it's food or otherwise, please feel free to do so. Rest assured, there are going to be recordings on Twitch, and there is a backup on YouTube. So, the YouTube channel is DJ MK Off the Air. Gonna put that. There you go. I do simulcasts, so this recording will be back on YouTube. So you'll be able to rewatch this if you just need to go off and eat or something, because I'm gonna be here anyway. This is good though. So yeah, if you need to eat, go ahead and do that. Comfortable streaming and edible streaming is safe streaming. Get your food and water. Yes. That's sweet, Princess. Oh, Lady Delora wants to talk to you about what happened when you're feeling up to it. Okay. I wait until Anise leaves the room before I follow after her. It's only after I exit my room that I realize I do not know where Karma's room is. Anise must have assumed that I already knew with us being partners and all. It's fine. I do not need Anise's assistance for this. I can find Karma's room on my own. It takes me some time, but eventually I find a room with his name on the door in careful, flowery letters. It suits him. I simply open the door without thinking to knock. Oh boy. What? I expected my Karma lying in his bed, but instead he's standing in front of a mirror changing his clothes. Just turning into a comedy of errors right here. Princess! Oh. I do not think I've ever seen a shirtless man before. Ooh, marmalade! Sweet! Oh, indeed. He turns to me in the realization that he's standing there just as his pants hits me hard in the stomach. Matthias feels incredibly, uncomfortably warm. That is called blush, Lucette. We all do it. Even me. Why are you just standing there? Put on your clothes! And then I noticed the village tattoo on his chest. It is a rose ensnared by many vines. I stared at it for a few moments before Karma puts a hand there to conceal it. It's rude to come into a lady's room unannounced, you know. Karma puts his usual dress on carefully over his head and then approaches me. I take a step back without realizing. Karma raises an eyebrow and swallows it mischievously. It is a familiar look, but it rattles me more now than it ever has before. My princess, you're as red as a tomato. Are you okay? Does that man always need to point out the obvious? I'm fine. There is no need to shout, darling. You're one to talk. Now, what'd you come here for? See me, the beautiful Karma? Everything always had to revolve around you? Well, you are breaking into my room. I'm barely able to stifle a sigh. Well? I cross my arms and frown at him. His smile makes it harder to get my next words out. I came here to thank you. Do my ears deceive me? What did you say, princess? Princess? Thank you for saving me. You are quite welcome, princess. It was my pleasure. I should leave. Wait, what? I turn to leave, but Karma grabs my hand and pulls me back. But princess, don't you think you owe me something? So Karma was expecting something in return after all. I should have known. I think you owe me an apology. You did come into my room unannounced after all. What is he talking about? You didn't knock! Do I need to show you the log? I simply opened the door without thinking to knock. Moral of the story. Parents and kids, husbands and wives, and whatever you identify as, knock first! You are the one who knocks! Since you broke into my room, I demand you help me with my makeup. Then I'll forget your transgression. Your makeup? Yes, darling. I thought you were resting because you were going on patrol tonight. Resting? Nonsense. I have much to do. The makeup earlier was so messy that I washed my face in order to reapply it. I cannot believe I'm going to agree with this. time. What a splendid day it is! Become princess, let's do this by a mirror. Kara pulls me over to the mirror where I can see both our faces reflected. He has a surprising variety of makeup on the dresser beside him. I do not even care that much for my appearance. Am I helping Karma with his makeup? Now, which feature on the face do you think is the most important one to highlight, princess? What? What are your eyes attracted to most in a person's face? When they're laughing? When they smile? Why is he asking me for my opinion on something so trivial? Personally, I like to emphasize my eyes the most, then my lips. Those makeup users out there, I do not discriminate. For those who use makeup, which parts do you like to emphasize or enhance? That's the word I'm looking for. Which parts do you like to emphasize or enhance? I like to enhance my skin, but I like to emphasize my eyes. Because I like my eyes. I think they're beautiful. If someone were smiling, the first feature I would look at on their face would be the eyes. For me, it would be the eyes, because looking at your eyes, like, you can tell when somebody is what somebody's genuinely feeling by their eyes. I mean, the mouth is a pretty good way of doing it too, but like, you can totally tell when somebody's faking if you use the eyes. You always look at a person's eyes first, so the eyes? Eyes are the mirrors to your soul, as they say. Does that mean you always look into my eyes, princess? The minute he says that, I look into his eyes. Karma flutters his eyelashes at me, and I look back down and grumble. Was that a trick? Made you look. What did you think? Think? Of my eyes. Did I draw you in? I have never looked at Karma's eyes closely, but now that he keeps talking about them, I can't help but look closer. His eyes are a pretty color. I do agree with that. I love the green. Like, I love the green that Daisuke used. You don't have to answer that, princess. I'm just kidding. Of course. Your eyes, on the other hand, are beautiful. You and Rumple really are the same person. You both spout nonsensical compliments. Nonsensical? Oh, princess. I'm so offended. I mean, when I say I'm like that full. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Just don't make me look like a clown, princess. I know how much you like to tease me, but I need to get out of here quickly today. Oh, this is so good. I need to find out which cafe my dad got this from. What's your favorite snack, by the way, people? Feel free to comment down below. I like nuts when I'm in a rush. I like anything warm when I have the time. What about you? If you need to leave quickly, should you do your makeup yourself? I missed the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense. If I can, I'll have you help me with my hair some other time. The way you do yours is beautiful. I always put effort into my hair. His mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. I admit, I'm a little bit overdue in getting my hair done. Recent, yeah, fun fact, these are actually extensions. Or, as my computer likes to call it, a weave. So, gotta change it up a little bit, whether I trim off the back or just take it off completely. Most likely it would be the latter, but we'll see. I always put the effort into my hair, as mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. But I've never received a compliment on my hairstyle before. Karma gives me his makeup supplies to start layering the color on his face. We are this close, I can't help but carefully inspect every one of his features. I do not think I even did something like this with mother. You know, princess, I don't think I deserve your thanks. I pause and raise an eyebrow at him. What? You've been helping me for a while, and I haven't helped you with your curse at all. What I did today was just coincidence. Coincidence? I heard you went to town with Wallace, and so I followed you to. I only happened to catch what happened in the alleyway. You managed to see me even when there were many other people who didn't? I have good eyes. Probably. All the more to look at, my dear. Sorry, I had to pull that. I know, completely different curse. Versus the one with the Red Riding Hood curse. But I had to pull it out, I'm sorry. Probably. It's not like you to be so humble. Lucette, I am once again offended. And why were you following us in the first place? You said you were too tired to go into town today. I was worried? It was strange not accompanying you today. Worried? Why would you be worried? Karma looks puzzled for a few moments. He glances at himself in the mirror solemnly, then shrugs. Intuition, perhaps? Waltz mentioned something about feeling watched. Is there something that Waltz and Karma are watching out for that I'm not? Karma closes his eyes momentarily, and I take the opportunity to adjust his eyes with eyeshadow. He does not seem to mind. Princess, you haven't spoken about what happened today with Allura or Parfait, have you? No, not yet. You came to thank me first? Yes. Oh. Karma falls into silence and I continue to work, seeming blush on his high cheekbones. Princess, do you know anything about the man who tried to drag you away today? No. He said only that he worked for the king, before telling me he would take me back to the palace. I wonder how I recognized you. I was wondering that myself. How curious. And alarming. The only ones who should pose a problem at this time are witches. Witches? What do they want to do with me? Well, I only mean that witches are the only ones who can see through our curses. So that man spoke with a witch? It's possible. But why? Why would witches want me back at the palace? Why is that man trying to lead me somewhere else? I suppose, either way, the man couldn't have wanted to bring me back to the palace for a good reason. Is it possible that a witch gave a comment or description of you? But then why would... Karma stops talking and looks at me with something like sympathy. Sorry, I'm just running my head for ideas. Are the witches really so dangerous? And what do they want with me in the first place? So, ultimately the reason why the witches are threats, at least in this universe, is because... Here's the funniest thing. I think it was like the best part of this game. It's the funniest thing, and yet it's the most... It makes the most sense, and it's the most tragic thing. Is that ultimately... the Grimm's fairy tales ultimately gave the witches a bad reputation. Because it ultimately saw... I mean, like, their main source of power is darkness, right? But then... ultimately... the tales were the ones that gave them the emphasis... humans the emphasis that darkness equals evil. And so as a result, the kingdom was very anti-magic. And so, in response, the witches, the greatest witch of all being Lucette's mother, do the fairy tale curse on the humans in response. I mean, the fairies could have done defensive magic, but I don't think it would have been very effective because their magic comes from a different source. It'll make more sense as we get further into the series, don't worry. That's sure, Princess. We will figure this out. I nod my head slowly. I have a lot of questions for Allura and Parfait, but it is possible that even they might not know everything. I'll need to think on my own as well, just in case they decide to keep more of their secrets. And believe me, they kept a lot of them. Look at Karma and shake my head. Next time, I will be more wary. I won't let myself be caught unaware. Before I realize it, his eyes on his has sorry. Woo! I skipped. Woo, okay. Before I realized it, Karma has his hand on my cheek and is staring at me solemnly. His eyes are as cold and unmoving as steel. Princess, there won't be a next time. That's what I said. Next time, I'll make sure that you're definitely not alone. Had I been alone today, I might have actually been kidnapped. I know that, but I cannot show weakness. I just need to be more cautious. I am not some damsel in distress, you know. Well, technically you are, but it says that you're supposed to figure out how to break your curse, but you're not the traditional damsel in distress we tend to associate with, so in that sense you are correct. Having someone at your back is far more comforting. Even on a battlefield, knights fight better together. This is really good. What's wrong? Nothing. He moves his hand away from my face and stands up, sighing. His eyes look suddenly distant and his posture is stiff. I think we're about done here, right? I haven't finished your makeup, though. Wait, why am I even concerned about that? Oh, sometimes simple is better. Or would you like me to sit back down? I do enjoy being pampered by you, Princess. I take it back. We are definitely done. Good. Thank you for your hard work. Look at how it is. In an instant, the mood changes, and a bright smile once again graces Karma's face. As much as I hate to do this, I'm gonna have to leave you, darling. I have business in town and a patrol later tonight. Probably won't see you the rest of the day, but thank you. He is thanking me for putting on his makeup? Such a small thing. You're welcome. You already thanked me, though. Well, now you could tell I'm twice as thankful as the normal person. That doesn't make any sense, but it's Karma. A lot of things he says do not make any sense. My wall clock, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow unicorns. That is one of the hazards parking in the living room. On the other hand, though, I like the color of the curtains. Two of them were seated together in the reception, speaking in hushed voices when I arrived. They both paused to look at me as I walked into the room. Well, well, the visit of the princess. Took you long enough to come see us. And he's told us you were unharmed. We're glad to see you safe, princess. So how about telling us what happened? When prompted, I told them everything that transpired in the alleyway. The two listen and only exchange a solemn glance when I am done. Do you know something about this that I don't? Why would the witches be after me in the first place? You remember when what we said about the Tenebrarum corrupting witches? But those witches don't like seeing curses broken. They meddle where they can because they can. That's why I cast a glamour on you when you arrived here, so you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you. To protect me? I feel like there's more to this than they're hiding. I do not think any amount of convincing would get them to say anything. Forgive us, Princess. We're not entirely sure what's going on either. Though if it was a human that captured you, he must be working with the witches somehow. Troublesome, to say the least. We don't know the details yet. Give us some time to figure things out. Until we figure out who that man is and who he's working for, you need to have an escort with you out of the margin at all times. Do you understand? And once you figure it out, you will tell me? The two exchange another look, which only makes me more frustrated. They're obviously keeping secrets, and right in front of me. We'll tell you everything once everything falls into place. Don't worry, Princess. We would never let you be put into any danger. The silence is what ends our conversation. I make my way back to my room, feet heavy. I feel like a fly caught in a spider's web. I try my best to clear my mind as I return to my room. Oof. The days go by slowly, and I make no progress on my curse. Karma is busy with the knights today, and Delora and Parfait are busy talking with Rumpool about his curse in his room. Tonight's the perfect night to go and wander the town by myself. I need to see if I can find out anything about the witches and what is happening around the kingdom. Delora and Parfait are not going to tell me anything, and no one has wanted to take me out of the margin since the kidnapping attempt. These thoughts spiral helplessly as my mind as I sit at the table. I've just finished working for the day, and the activity in the margin is beginning to wind down. Honestly, that felt weird to change the music right there. That really felt weird. Garland stands at the door as the last few customers leave the margin. Jurian is walking around the room to make sure that there are no problems. Out of the corner of my eyes, and those two men pause halfway across the room to glance back at her. I can overhear their words from where I am. Shame that she's a knight, eh? She's the proud type, too proud to let a man dote on her. Lady shame indeed, but you think if I tried to say something to her? You two. Garwin is suddenly standing back behind two men, an uncharacteristically dark glare on his face. Is there a problem? Doors are closing for the night. I'm going to ask you to please leave. Don't need to be so uptight, lad. We're on our way out now. My accent's gotten really terrible. It was much better earlier. But anyway. The two men walk out and Garland stands in the middle of the tavern area, glaring after them. I more or less pushed him out of the tavern. If Anise had seen that, she probably would have scolded him. Garland. You okay? Of course. You think you can fool me? I know you long enough to know that something's bothering you. Other knights seem to notice me here. If they do, they ignore me. Jurian is still looking insistently at Garland, who looks down at the floor. Is he going to say something to her? Garland says nothing, though. He looks at a loss for words. Finally, Jurian reaches out and pokes his shoulder, and he looks up startled. Still the same as always. A silent, watchful knight. Only says things with certainty when he knows they're the truth. Even the princess is waiting for you to say something. Okay, how long has she noticed? Both knights turn to look at me, and Garland seems surprised. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he hurriedly looks away. Patrol is starting soon. I'll head out first. Okay. Stay safe. Garland nods at her with a little smile before he leaves the tavern. Going to sleep soon, Princess? I was just going to head up. I stand up and get ready to move to my room, but stop once more to look at Jurian. Did you hear what those men were saying? Oh, about me being too proud or something? So she did hear them. She chose to say nothing. It doesn't bother me. They're right. I've been independent for a long time, and I would never think about pledging my safety to a man I barely know. I can take care of myself. What? And to the point. Tyrion was really admired for that honesty in the palace. The only other men I've trusted before my fellow knights. Barwin most of all, since we've always been partners. She does not explain any further. I decided that is for the better. The sooner everyone is cleared out, the sooner I can leave the march-in. Tonight's the night I go looking for answers. You sure it's a good idea, though? And Almond, for your thoughts? Ooh, that is pretty though. Not gonna lie. It's the first time I've seen that cave. Sorry, Karma. I can handle myself. I'm going to prove it tonight. I may not be able to fight, but I can still be cautious enough to not land myself into trouble. Still, it did not happen to hear much anything as I was exploring the town tonight. I should have brought along some kind of weapon, but then I would have had to steal a knife from the kitchen. I'm not a thief. Hours passed before I passed a tavern filled with knights. Deciding that I would at least listen to what is happening at the palace, I lingered by the open door and listened to what the men are saying. I hear that young Fritz is having a hard time of it. I feel bad for the lad. Even so, Outcaster thinks he's gone mad. He does keep talking about a princess that doesn't exist. Oh, man! This means Fritz is cursed, too. I already knew that, though. Anyway. Fritz still remembers me? But how? Even his father is going weary with babbling. Sir Mithras forced him to on break the other day. He didn't seem happy. Now Sir Mithras must think he's crazy, too. Poor Fritz. Can he keep a secret? The knights look at each other and I lean as close as I possibly can. Apparently, the boy spoke some truth, though Sir Alcaster doesn't quite believe it. He's looking for the daughter of the previous queen. Eh? The witch had a daughter? The previous queen? Are they talking about mother? How dare they call her a witch? That's exactly what she was! Apparently she did, though I don't remember such a girl. This is top secret stuff. I just happened to wrestle this out of one of the lackeys looking for her. What would Sir Alcaster need this girl for? I'm assuming she's dangerous and they want to get rid of her. Are they talking about me? I'm curious. How are we supposed to find this imaginary princess anyway? Does she have any features? Aye, he described her features. Last night I went looking for her since she wore a special pendant around her neck. Uh-oh. I should get out of here. I turned to leave the tavern, and my cloak snags on the door and falls to the floor, tripping me up in the process. I end up falling halfway into the tavern, where the chatter abruptly stops. Is this? Oh, a lady. The knights that were talking approach me. One of them picks up my cloak. I attempt to grab my cloak from their fingers, but they pull it away from me and I stumble into one of them. Madam? He moves to take my hand, and then stops when he sees my face. Her face! And a necklace! You think she was spying on us? Witch! One of the knights grabs me by the wrist and pulls me toward him. He's far stronger than the man in the alleyway was. Unhand me right now! I am no witch! Then there should be no problem. We're just going to take you in and there's some big misunderstanding. We'll pay you ourselves, miss. No, let me go. This behavior is not fitting of a knight. Come now, miss. Let's go back quietly. Oh boy! This is difficult. Oh my god. Fighting them's gonna be useless, and Nick convincing them? It's not doing anything either. Oh my gosh. Dang, this is hard. So on the one hand, they're too strong to fight against, but then convincing him is going to be completely useless. What am I supposed to do? No matter what, it's gonna be wrong, I think. I feel like talk is futile with these guys, but I'm gonna try again. Try convincing them. Fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try convincing them that I'm not who they think I am. You're mistaken, sirs. I happen to overhear a conversation assuming I'm some imagining princess is unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening on our conversation. That's quite suspicious. Did you not hear what I just said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more. You were cloaked, as if trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is sure to draw attention to a lady such as myself. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man! Then, ma'am, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we're mistaken, we'll clear up the misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Dang! This is like an incomplete Jedi mind trick. Now I'm thinking of that character from episode 1 who's like, what do you think, you're some sort of Jedi? Waving your hand around like that? Yeah, I remember this episode 1, believe it or not. It wasn't gonna work anyway. Whether it was fighting or talking, it wasn't gonna work. Come on. Let's take her back to the palace. Well, he's rude. The knights lead me out onto the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? The knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There's fear in their eyes. I have done nothing wrong. Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. I don't know. I'm suspicious of... Who goes there? Oh! I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking towards us. What's he doing here? Why isn't he in his disguise? Gentlemen, I ask you to unhand that woman. As a knight, I would be ashamed to see treating a lady so terribly. Who are you? Her husband. Oh my god! Rumpel and Karma really aren't that different. Oh my god. His what? Unhand her, gentlemen, or taste my blade. Sir, we're just going to take her to the palace too. I will keep you on the count of 3. One knight keeps grip on me as the other draws the sword. I stare at Karma. He continues to count as the knight attacks him before his sword leaves his sheath. Karma and the knight trade blows, but his Karma comes out victorious. His blade slides past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with his free hand to knock the knight out with a blow to the head. It may be just my imagination, but for a few moments I think I see the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me holds his hands up in surrender. I yield, sir! It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. But please, sir! Karma knocks him out and stands beside me to sheathe the sword. Karma, A few moments later said. Karma spent some time forcing a potion from a vial down each of the knights' throats. I watched him quietly, afraid that he might have killed them, but the knights always seemed to be asleep. I think it's too noble for that kind of technique, Lucette. Come on, honestly. A potion the Parfait gave me. It'll make the men forget they ever saw you. When Karma stands again and has the glimmer of blood in his hand and stare. Oh, yeah, because he saw the blade. She saw the blade going past his hand earlier. You're hurt. It's nothing. I'm sorry. Come on, princess. Let's go back. He pulls it right out on the main street and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Karma has saved me twice now. Not only that, but this time he's injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloodied hand does not move at all. Why do I have to be so stubborn and insist I can handle myself? I do not speak for a long time. Eventually I notice people start to stare. Oh no! Karma! Now before long, the staring goes worse. Young women begin following us, peering from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Karma? Sorry, Princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls are walking right behind us. This is curse? Karma? You said, I said I am in no mood to talk. Did you not hear me? We're being followed! He stands behind us, almost stupidly, then laughs hollowly when the girl sees his face. He started to rush towards us, their voices rising and blending together into a horrendous cacophony. Karma is not moving, though. He looks resigned. Maybe he's too tired to realize what he wants to do. I tie my grip on Karma's hand and pull him away. The pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming at me angrily, taking Karma away from them. And I was thinking that anime scene where like a lot of harem anime, you know, where there's like this one protagonist amongst several people that they're chasing, and then like they're holding hands together and like smoke right behind them in the town, and they're running, like that kind of thing. That would actually be pretty fun if we actually saw that illustrated. Like, I would totally love to see that, but as somebody's done fan art of that. Lucette, what are you doing? Getting us out of here! Lucette? I lead him through the town into little nooks and crannies where we managed to lose some of the crowd. Karma often led me through some of these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew them too. Once we are alone again, I stop, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hand as I catch my breath. That really was a curse. Having to run away from so many mindless women. That was difficult. You set? What? I didn't mean to snap, but tiredness is pressing on me too. You helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why did I want to be chased by girls? You could have left me behind and gone on alone. Instead, you helped me. You helped me too. I guess I paid you back. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving me. I just knew that I didn't want Carver to be stuck trying to fend off all those girls. He was right about his curse, though. That is terrible. I just realized something. Carver kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. My curse is people forget me, and yours is even strangers become fascinated with you. It's almost like our curses are opposites of each other, and yet we seem so similar. My eyes widen when I realize what I just said. We are similar, aren't we? He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern through the abandoned alleyways. My feet are heavy, and all I want to do is sleep, but suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Lucette, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and I made it more difficult on you. It was so sudden and I was so tired that I had no motivation to move. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. You should not have gone out on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology too, because I lost sleep over this. I have no words for how I feel right now. Princess? Oh! Karma reaches for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. Suddenly all my tiredness falls away. You really are a handful. Like, they're so sick. I'm sorry. Karma, remember, do some more. You want that kind of line. But a delightful handful. I'm going to banish this hand and then rest. Speak later about all this, okay? But the blood. The bleeding stopped on its own, Lucette, but it does need to be treated. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie. Not even for the sake of a pretty lady. Yeah, instead he diverts, there's a difference. And again, there is lying by omission. Karma lets go of my hand as soon as we enter the march-in, and then bows politely to me before heading back to his room. I watch him go, my mind whirling. Does he usually kiss women's hands? No, I don't think so. Chapter 6. Matchmaking. We're almost to the end. Oh my gosh, I didn't think you guys could do this. And it's almost 2 hours. Well, it's been over 2 hours since I started the stream. Your handful, a delightful handful. Oh my god. His words keep repeating in my head. I can't stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand. Yeah, because I think it's like 10 chapters on average for each thing. But I'm surprised, like, not a single good deed has happened so far. This is the shocking part. Like, usually one happens at this point and nothing happened. My face feels warm. Every time I think about his words, my heartbeat feels unsteady. I have to stop thinking about that. Karma is karma, and he puts on that overly polite act with everyone. And that's why! Oh my gosh. He still thinks it's an act. Oh, that's painful. But then I'm pretty sure I've never seen him do something like that with another person. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all of this, and just tell Parfait and Delore what happened. Because of the time I returned to the marching yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception. It is quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma is sitting at one of the tables speaking quietly with Parfait and Delore. His injured hand is sitting on the table bandaged. I cannot help but stare at it, my heart plummeting. His injury is my fault. So you have yet to hear the entire story? No, I'm afraid I'm not quite privy to the information Waltz has. Is that correct? Walt's been directly involved in this far longer than you have. What about Waltz? Princess, you're up early. Leo turned up to me and stand at the table. Karma still looks tired and is not in his dress. He looks somber but still smiles at me. Lucette, how nice of you to join us. When did you start saying my name without my title? Lucette, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. So you go out of your way to get yourself into trouble. This involves me directly. How would I not be curious? You also ain't irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to. I even wear a cloak too. Oh no, a cloak. Left at the bar. I feel a nudge at my arm, and Karma's holding on my cloak with a tired smile. Oh my god, this dude is 10 steps ahead. I love this. He's good. Good lord, man. He said observe everything. You went back to get this? When? Yesterday. You knew you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry these past few weeks, Karma. It's nothing. Thank you. What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone? Why is there something so strange? Oh, come now. She's not so icy. Lucette is more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Confidence that's got me nowhere so far. That looks so dour, Lucette. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures toward me and I flush, unsure of what he's talking about. But I notice Delore's eyes are on me too. Oh, Parfait, did you see that? What are they looking at? I reached down to grab my necklace and then paused. Finally! Thank goodness! I told you at this point usually one pops up. I can't stop the gasp that leaves my lips. Piece number 1, there we go. When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize there was an extra piece to your necklace? Congratulations, Princess Lucette! You're a step closer to breaking your curse. 1 down, 2 more to go. I feel proud. I only felt this way around Mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. Enough for Lucette, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. Whoa, wait. Helping Karma escape was a good deed? She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got for protecting me. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping. Well, kidnappings. Both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz would want to be here for this too. What does Waltz have to do with any of it? Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? Believe it or not, a lot more than you think. I have no choice but to agree with Parfait and Delora if refuse to say any more. I'm not happy about it. I spend the rest of the day time doing idle chores around this. I can talk. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. I do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom and allow him to organize some of the bottles. I can't believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it will answer some of the questions I have. Why are they keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, would it? How can you stand to make comments like that constantly? How can you stand to live a lie? The two glare at each other across the table, but Delora silences them. Delora starts with a story about the Great War, one that I have already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, we just like myself were punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenebrarum Bearer, was a kind of witch that overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the fairy tale curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but by the time I thought to act, it was too late. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Tenebrarum Bearer killed? How can the fairy tale curse continue to spread if she's dead? I believe that the Tenebrarum Bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Tenebrarum, all to ensure the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. Is none of this ringing a bell to you? What are you talking about? She really did erase your memories. Wait, what? I did not know this at all. Her memories were erased? That's terrible. Oh my gosh. This is the part I didn't know about. Dang, Daisuke went meta on us. It's like, okay, we know this part, and then they just reveal a little bit more with each ship. Her memory was wiped. I did not know this. Grace? The witch who died, Tenebrarum Bearer, was her mother, Princess said. What? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who was one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside this kingdom, and even I knew the terrible witch Hildur. Do you expect me to believe any of this? Mother was... She wasn't a witch. I will remember that. Well, you would if you had members of the war, and the years before that. Under Hilder's rule, the palace is a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hilder was defeated. That goes for the rest of us too. We were slaves to Hilder. Dolores' eyes flickered to Waltz. It's the truth. Waltz knows because he's also a witch. He experienced Hilder's command over the witches firsthand as well. Waltz is a witch? Sorry for keeping it a secret, Princess. It's not like as if I can use much magic anymore anyway. Not when I'm cursed. It's just another secret of many. It feels like everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hilder's reign. Witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he always truly loved. So, it's always been Ophelia that he truly loved? Is that the reason why I never felt any love from him? Because I was my mother's daughter? He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me! My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel it crack beneath the pressure and suddenly I want to cry. My mother told me so many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. But Mother didn't. Mother would tell me this is all a lie. She would tell me to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason I trust him more than I trust Allura or Parfait. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hilder and her daughter Lucette. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hilder was ice, then you most certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? You're a witch as well. Whether you're not you were the taught to use magic. On your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tenebrarum bearer. Do you realize how ridiculous this all sounds? Me? A witch? The king never said anything. And now I can't even ask him if it's the truth because I'm cursed. Why would you even curse me? I didn't want to repeat the tragedy, Lucette. I sat in your shells for almost a year, Princess. There was ice in your heart, and if you inherited the Tenebrarum in that state, who knows what would have happened? Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Allura and Parfait looked at each other before dropping their faces to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have been bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. You shut out everyone who'd ever tried to tell you about Hilder's true nature. Well, in Lucettes' defense, though, she was brainwashed and her memory was subsequently wiped. So, I don't think that's completely her fault in that instance. That is probably true. Even now, I'm having trouble believing that they're telling me the truth. The whole world feels like as if it's collapsing all around me. I need to escape. I need to go out and be somewhere else, but why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir of the Tenebrarum. No doubt evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angiel with a fairy tale curse. The men that were looking for Lucette were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and the knights are working together. That was part of Elcaster's scheme to steal the throne. What are you talking about? And that's how they got kicked out. The reason why Garland and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe us about Elcaster's coup. How do you know the princess's identity, though? Anyone who isn't a witch, fairy, or isn't cursed should be able to remember her. But now we know that it isn't just the witches looking for the princess, but the Knights of the Order of Caldera as well. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Lucette? Karma reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder, and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Let her go. She needs a lot of time to think. I mean, considering that you just dumped, like, an entire science textbook in front of her, I don't blame her. I leave everyone sitting at the table as I try processing the whirling thoughts on my mind. Hildur, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenebrarum bearer, a witch. The first witch to kill a human. The witch that started the fairy tale curse. All this time, I thought Mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stay in my room for a long time, trying to process everything that I've ever been told. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. These last few days have felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it'll make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Lucette. I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I've not spoken to Karma since the talk about Mother and witches. Any of the ease I felt with him before I slipped away. Still, I came here on my own, and I can't just stand here being mute. I see the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Jurian and Garland? I'll only turn with Garland. Jurian is on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. It seems you did too. Lucette, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It's not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. I've just been busy these past few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would you ever want to pair up with someone like me anyway? Why, Princess? That's because I'm bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I think about is myself. But now, I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? No. Maybe so, but I believe you are being selfish for the right reasons. An entirely selfish person can't survive in this world. Before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. See previous episode with Chevalier. Prime example of this. Happy ourselves? Yes. An angry person holds resentment toward everyone, and it mars whatever good deeds they seek to do. That's why I could not complete like good deeds. Wrong. You've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Lucette. Regardless of the motivation, you're trying to become a better person. That is what matters. He takes a step toward me, then puts his hands on my shoulders and leans down to look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It's never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Lucette? You're standing too close. Oh boy. I think I'm gonna say... I don't know. I don't know which one will be critical. I don't think it's a little bit too... I think at this point, she still has some of her old demeanor left, but I think it's not as pronounced as it was before. I'm tempted to say don't move, but Lucette is still very much there, so I think I'm going to say step away from him, because she still has that reflex of not trying to hurt people. That's my theory. So, fingers crossed that I'm right. I'm going to say step away from him. I take a step away from him and Karma's hands fall from my shoulders. He sighs out. The story better be just as dramatic as mine. Thank you, Lucette. For what? For agreeing to listen. And for what you just did. Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him? Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a crown prince from a kingdom called Brigantia. Brigantia is one of those neighboring kingdoms, so this isn't make-believe? His name was Claude Idric Rinaldi Matthias Almont. Because the name was such a mouthful, he settled for an acronym as a nickname, at least around the palace where it was acceptable. Karma, Claude Idric Rinaldi Matthias Almont. Claude Idric Rinaldi Matthias Almont. Karma. That makes sense. Also, it's about when I think Rinaldi, I think Princess Diaries. Claude Idric Karma? Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then one day, he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then, at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but the time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object, and broke the woman's heart. And she cursed him. That beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found him too late. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make him beauty a curse? Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He has been gone for nearly a year now, and must probably assume he is dead. But in truth, the prince had come to Angiel seeking a way to break his curse. He had heard of a young lady named Lucette, who on her 18th birthday could dispel any curse. Oh man, what? That's a thing? Okay. Karma? He looks so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude? Oh! The classic Victorian / anime status, when you're no longer on a nickname / last name basis. Karma. Claude turns a startling red as he stares at me for a few moments before he does not speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Well, I did laugh earlier when the sad music was coming, so touche! Isn't that your real name? No, darling, it is, but hearing you say my name, well, it sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. My cheeks are warm again. How is he able to make me feel this way? I will call you by that name if it makes me feel so happy. Let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name for my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. More special? At that moment, Garland shows up for practice, and Claude politely excuses himself. I watch two of them trade blows. Claude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize that he's like me. A noble cursed for being selfish. And honestly, I feel like even though that wasn't the intended order of Rumple happening before Claude, well, let's be honest. Let's bring in the real names here. With Chevalier happening before Claude, I feel like that was a better order compared to having Claude before Chevalier. Because We see her, she has the capability of being selfless, but then she also is capable of being aware of when she's being selfish. So I feel like the order that I accidentally played was actually the correct one. Just my 2 cents. But how did I break his curse? Why can't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Jurian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. The 2 men sheathe their swords. Garland almost looks sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her, and yet he won't say anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? I almost said, why does that bother me so much? From like Shadow the Hedgehog or something? Garland. Yes, princess? Oh. I don't know what to do. Whoop. Phone's okay. On the one hand, he should say something. On the other hand, what if a tragic ending follows? For not saying anything. Alright, Zen. Sorry, I took an eternity to read that message. Good night. Have a good rest of your day. And then there were 3. And actually, I think I'm going to end it here. So, we're pretty much almost to the end of the game, actually. Well, the end of this chapter, anyway. Because we got pretty far. We've been streaming for about 3 hours. I don't know about y'all, but I am just tempted to go for a nap. And maybe a proper meal. So, yeah. I'm going to end it right over here. In case you want to check out some of my other stuff, feel free to check out my social media. Here's all the stuff that I have. If you want to hang out with me, come and say hi. I actually am trying to save up for a PS4 or a PS5. I'm still trying to decide because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit impatient. On the one hand, I really want to get the console as soon as possible. But on the other hand, though, we're not 100% sure about the degree of backwards compatibility for the PS5, so too soon to tell. But I do have Discord. There's a link to the Discord server under the channel rules and also in my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is, of course, DJ MK Off the Air, if you want to watch some more stuff from the previous episodes. I have a blog, and I'm starting up my live streams later on this month, so look forward to that new content. And I have Twitter, DJ MK for Life. That is 4, not FOR. Though my Spotify is FOR. But anyway, this is really fun. I streamed for 3 hours. Thanks to Gamer Zach for the raid. It was really fun seeing you guys more properly. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be playing some more other things. So I've got the I Love You Colonel Sanders, got Your Dry Delight. I may have a Twitch exclusive of for Nekojishi, because Nekojishi is like probably one of the hardest visual novels to actually stream online, but I'll find a way. And yeah, so I'm gonna go rest now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Bye, everybody!